Good afternoon, folks. My name is Scott Watts, and welcome to the first video of the Watts Way Farms YouTube channel. Thought I'd start this channel with this first video with a bit of an introduction and background on me and a few details on why yet another YouTube channel and what I think I can add that might be of value to, others who might stumble across this video. So my wife and I bought this land here in South Central Alabama, September of 2019. It's right at 80 acres, just under, like 79.8 something acres. And when we purchased it, it was about as raw land as you could get. As you can see in the background here, it's, a lot of it's cleared off. There is some woods pretty much on three sides of it. There is, and I'll show y'all, a old cabin that was, according to the neighbors, built in the 1850s. It's fallen in and there's not a lot of value to it. It's got to go. There's also an old barn built probably around that same time, also has to go. And there was some fencing in place when we bought the place, but it was there was more of it that was down, honestly, than what was up. There were several spots where the fence was nowhere near the property line. It was in several spots we were encroaching on, or the fence was encroaching on land that wasn't ours, and in other spots the fence was several yards on our side of the property line. So we did, when we first bought this land back towards the end of 2019, we did invest in that forestry mulcher to come through and clear the property line, and then we also invested in having the entire perimeter, about 8,200 feet, fenced in with brand new 5-strand barbed wire fence. And that became the basis of our farm. And so then we decided, what are we going to do with it? I mean, we'd really started researching long before then as to what we wanted to do with this land. And kind of landed on, after months of research and hours and hours and hours of YouTube channel, that we were going to focus on grass-fed beef, pastured pork, and pastured chickens. A lot of our inspiration came from, the pioneers like Joe Salatin and Polyface Farm, the heavyweights of grass-fed like Greg Judy, and then also watch and gained a lot of information from Pete at Just a Few Acres, because I, like him, I also chose the Dexter cattle breed because I have never done cattle before. I really wanted a breed of cattle that was, not quite as intimidating as a big, Brahman or an Angus, 2,000-pound bulls running around here. Just didn't seem like something I wanted to do. So we decided on the Dexter breed because it's a smaller, more docile breed, has a reputation for superior beef quality, ease of ownership, and that they have a reputation for being good mothers. They don't need a lot of infrastructure to support them. They do quite well on grass, etc. So that's our breed. And like I said, prior to this, we had little to no experience. I grew up in South Mobile County, and I guess what you could call a homestead-ish type of family. I have my mother and my stepdad and my two siblings, my brothers, small house, South Mobile County. It wasn't a big piece of land. It might have been an acre. I don't remember. And we had I guess, a nice sized farm, a nice sized garden. My stepdad always had a garden every single year, grew, squash and okra and tomatoes and whatnot. He still has a garden to this day, though a bit smaller. We had rabbits, probably in the couple hundred range. We had turkeys, we had chickens, a few guinea hens. So, some livestock, but just, small, easy to manage. Both my parents worked outside the home. We rode the bus to the local high school. And so, kind of a somewhat typical South Alabama upbringing, nothing, to prepare for, the likes of running a cow calf or cow beef operation, or pigs, or pasture chickens or anything like that. But I actually think that, if you ask why a YouTube channel, that is the answer as to why. The Greg Judys and Joe Salatins of the world are a wealth of information. I so enjoy every bit of information I can get out of their videos. Love the fact that they take the time to share it and educate folks like me. But my channel is going to be more of a journey into this from a perspective that I think maybe many of y'all will also be in, and that's I've never done this before, can I do it? And along the way, I'm sure we're going to make some mistakes, and I'm going to share them. I do not plan on doing a lot of heavy editing of my videos. I'm going to try to, take a kind of a natural, raw approach to it. I'm going to video it as it happens, and I'm going to throw it up there and, look forward to comments and feedback, and, see where it goes. As of right now, early January 2021, I have a herd of 22 Dexters. Those 22 Dexters are made up, it was actually 3 different purchases. I purchased 11 head from a farm in Texas, and that included a bull, a steer, and 1 cow-calf pair. The rest were cows or heifers. Then I purchased another 7 from a friend in South Alabama, which was 4 cows, and then 3 had calves on their side. And then about a month ago, I was actually shopping just for some more steers to raise out, and I found about a couple hours north of me a guy that had 4 head that met my need. 2 of them were steers. One was a yearling steer, the other one was a spring calf, and then a cow-calf pair where the cow, 3-4-year-old cow with a August bull calf that's still not weaned, and that's my herd. My entire herd is ADCA registered, except for the steers and the 1 cow that I just bought a month ago. Most likely she'll be making her way to freezer camp once her calf is raised. Now, we do plan on doing a direct-to-consumer type market model of grass-fed beef, pastured pork, and pastured chicken. Gloria, the cow that I bought that's not registered, we'll keep her for personal use because she came from a farmer that fed grain. And then, so in addition to the 22 Dexters that I've got, some of which you can see behind you, I have 20 pigs that we just added a week ago yesterday. They are either Mulefoot or Mulefoot Berkshire cross. I chose the Mulefoot. They're a pretty rare breed. If you look it up, they Spanish origin, brought to Louisiana in the 1900s. Good foragers. I guess the back then the farmers would drop them on all the little islands and in the spring, and then go pick them up in the fall. They're not very popular because they don't have the huge litter size like you see with, you know, your more commercial breeds. But you know, if the internet's true, then they have a superior meat quality, just a smaller litter size. And so there's 20 of those out there. The plan is 2 of them are purebred Mulefoots that if I, you know, enjoy having them in the breed, then those 2 will remain on as sows to be bred in the future. If not, if I don't enjoy them, then they'll all head off to freezer camp here in the upcoming months. You know, we're looking at adding chickens, pasture chickens in March. I'll use the Joe Salatin, you know, pasture, I guess chicken tractor method. I'm gonna start building one of those here in a couple of weeks probably, and then we'll go from there. The pigs are in a paddock, and I'll show in a different video here in the next couple of days, probably about 3/4 of an acre size. The plan is to move them once they get that pretty much cleared out. I mean, a lot of the videos, like the Joe Salatin video, was a kind of structured 7 to 10 day move, but you know, as you hear, they always say move it when the land's ready. So that's going to kind of be my goal, is to use the pigs to kind of clear the wooded parts, turn it into like a silvo pasture that I can eventually put more cows on. My Dexter herd gets during the growing months, especially the summer months, they have daily paddock moves. I try to give them just as big of a paddock as they can eat in one day, you know, because I still have a daytime job. I can't do the real intensive mob grazing like, you know, I'd probably like to see, kind of like what, you know, Greg Judy prescribes on his channel. I just, you know, with the daily job, it's just not possible. So they do get daily moves during the summer. Right now, during the winter, because I'm still traveling somewhat between here and my home in South Alabama, they may not get moved every day, maybe every couple days, but they're on hay now, and I'm using kind of them to add some organic material to the land while also spreading, you know, fertilizer in the form of their manure and other waste. You know, this land here had been this, you know, the 80 acres has probably got about 40 or 50 that's pasture, been growing bahia grass, and it was, you know, cut for bahia for probably the last 10 or more years. But my understanding from talking to the real estate agent and that we purchased it through, and the neighbors, that there was, you know, not a whole lot of fertilizer or upkeep. It was pretty much just, you know, hay was grown, it was cut and hauled off, you know. And everything I've read and learned on the internet says that that when you do that, you're basically, you know, getting rid of your farm one bale at a time. So my plan is to, you know, use the hay. We did have hay cut this year, but it's here on the farm, and my plan is to roll it out, let the cows, you know, add it back to the land and slowly regenerate the land as we go. So that's a good background. Again, if you any questions, comments, please, you know, add them. I'll do my best to answer them. Welcome to my channel, and look forward to seeing where this takes us. Have a good day.